Welcome to Tea with Tori. I'm your host, Tori, and today the tea is hot. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Tea with Tori. I'm Tori, of course, and today I have a very special guest. I have Casey. Please tell the people who you are and what you do.
Hi, guys.
Closer.
Hi, guys. I'm Casey Claire, and I'm a DJ and singer-songwriter, model, artist in LA.
All the things.
All the things.
All the things creative.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the field of DJing?
For about 2.5 years now, going on 3 soon.
Damn, what made you want to get into it?
Honestly, I just was kind of over modeling. I was looking for something new, and I just, as you know, I would always share music.
Literally.
On my stories.
She's like the person that, you know how people usually share their music on Instagram and you're like, no one gives a fuck? Like, Casey was the person, I wouldn't even like listen to it. I would just add it to my playlist because it would always be a fucking banger. Like, every single time I'm like, dude, can you just DJ my parties or something? Like, you pick the best music.
I know what's good.
Literally. She knows what's popping for sure.
I've always been like that, though. Music has always been my therapy. And then, because I was doing that, like, not only you, but like, I had some people be like, oh, you have such good music taste.
Literally.
And I was like trying to see what I wanted to do with my life. And I'm like, why don't I just try something in music? And I would see DJs and I'm like, let me just try DJing.
Literally.
And then I started, like, I bought a little mini controller. It was like $200, but like one of the cheapest DJ controllers you could get. And
you're like, just in case I don't want to do this.
I know.
I won't have wasted any money.
Right.
Lowest level
DJ equipment. But it worked out. Like, I started on YouTube, just like watching YouTube videos, and then I found a school in Glendale called Djing Institute of Sound, and I went there for about a month, and then I found private lessons and was doing one-on-one sessions, and I just did a lot of practicing. And then my first gig, this is falling out. My first gig I got in Venice at this small bar in Venice called The Little Friend, because my friends were always so supportive, and they're like, she's a DJ, you should hire
her. She can do it.
I was like, I'm not ready.
You're like, who's a DJ? Which friend? Not me. Which of our friends DJs? You can't be talking about me.
I was sweating. I was like, I guess I'm a DJ.
Oh my God. So your friends just deep
literally end. And they were like, yeah, sure, like, let's this Tuesday.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I guess. Like,
they didn't even hit you with like send us a demo or anything.
They
said this
shocked.
Tuesday.
I'm honestly shocked.
They said you're coming in this Tuesday.
I'm like surprised that they didn't ask for like a
anything.
Press kit or nothing. I guess they just trusted my friends.
Your enthusiasm.
I guess, fake it till you make it.
Came in with raw enthusiasm and got the job.
I was like, I got this. Yeah. And I put together like a hip hop set,
Typical you.
I wasn't the best transitions yet, but I've always known what to play. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important part.
Literally.
As a DJ, because you could be the best at transitions, but if your song selection sucks, like,
no one will move.
People don't care.
I've literally left entire events and parties because the DJ has been trash. Like, I fully have left. It ruins the whole experience. It's the backdrop of the event or the evening is what is playing. Whether it's like something that's like a timepiece, like you're at a 70s event or some shit, like, or you're at some poppin' ass shit, like nowadays, like literally the entire backdrop of like what you feel and like how you have fun that night is the music.
Yep.
So I've literally left because I'm like, what the fuck are they playing
for sure.
right now?
I've been there too. Like, I've gone places, I'm like, this is not it. Like, the DJ sucks. And as a DJ, I've tried to cater to like myself, actually, because when I would go out, I would be frustrated. I'd be like, oh, like, why don't they just play this song?
Literally.
Like, it's not like, it's hot. I know this is hot. Like, and I know what the girls want, because I was a little wild. I would get on the tables and,
You need to play the music to make the girls shake their ass.
That's what.
So then the guys spend the money.
Exactly.
That is the whole purpose of going out.
Literally. So I try to think of that as a DJ, and I'm shaking my ass too.
You better be.
Up there. So,
yeah, like the world's best DJ.
It's been really fun. now I'm full-time, and I'm so grateful that I can say that, because there was a time where I would, like, do gigs a few times a month and still have to do catering and stuff, you know, like, and then eventually I actually went through a risk period. It was in June, where, like, I was still doing catering, brand ambassador, stuff like that, and I was like, if I need to tell the universe, no,
literally,
I don't do this anymore, because if I didn't stop, I felt like it would never stop. So it was like, yeah, this past June 2021, where I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna see. I had enough saved to, like, live off at least for, like, a month and a half. It wasn't amazing, honestly. It wasn't.
No, dude, I've jumped with way less than that, so that's.
So I was like, whatever the fuck happens this month, I'm gonna give it a shot and be like, I'm only DJing. That's all I do.
Oh my god.
And then, like, I swear it was so crazy. Like, I started getting hit up more, because I just opened up my time.
Yeah.
And even if it was, like, not that much money, like, DJ gigs, I was like, let's go. Like, sure, whatever it is.
Like, I'll DJ anything. Gender reveal, I'll DJ it.
I'll DJ.
Your graduation, I'll DJ it.
Exactly.
You baked a cake, I'll DJ it. Mm-hmm. Your vlog release, I'll DJ it.
I'll DJ it.
Anything.
Wherever you want.
What do you think has been the most challenging thing about being a DJ?
Probably having to prove myself more, because I feel like there's pros and cons of being a girl DJ. Once you prove yourself, it's, like, amazing, because they're like, damn, she's a girl and she can DJ well.
Yeah.
But before you, like, prove yourself,
they're like, oh god.
I know, they're like, oh god, this girl's probably, I don't know, it's probably gonna suck. Like, girl DJs, you never know,
hit or miss.
So I have to be really, like, when I first get, like, new clients, I'm always like, you're not gonna regret this choice.
Like, I'm gonna have you ass shaking all night.
Yeah. And also dealing with just, like, a lot of attention as a girl DJ can be a lot when I'm DJing, you know?
Yeah,
lots of
people trying to talk to you.
guys trying to talk to me. I've literally had guys, like, try to, like we're on a date, like, so where are you from? Like,
you're like, I'm working, sir. I'm at work. You're like,
I'm literally, like,
what
trying
do I fucking
to
do?
DJ.
I DJ. What the fuck do you do?
I know, I'm like, I'm busy. It happens a lot, and they'll just keep talking. I'm like, I can't talk right now.
Oh my god. That's when I would just, like, put the headphones on and be like.
Yeah, I do that now. I'll be,
because I feel like they would just get drunker and drunker.
Oh, they do. And so many people want to buy me shots, and I'm like,
you just need to, when you get there, let whoever's bringing you the shots know, whether it's, like, the bartender or the bottle girl, let them know, like, you can tell them you're bringing me a shot, but just bring me water. They'll think they're paying for a shot. Just put that shit on their bill.
Oh yeah, no, I fake it these days.
You just hit it with the amount of times that, because when I was club promoting, like, I would literally have to do shots because everyone's looking bored at the table. Well, what do? You shot a clock, and now everyone looks like they're having fun, but I can't take another fucking shot because I've done shot a clock 7 times. Exactly. So that's when you do. I watched Coyote Ugly, way too young an age, but I watched it still. And she was like, this is what you do to fake a shot. You take the shot and then you spit it back in a beer bottle. And I would never have a beer bottle because ew. So I would spit it back in just, like, a mixed drink glass.
Smart.
Because I'd still drink it just at my leisurely time.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I've done something similar. I'll take a little and then I'll, like, pour it in my mixed drink.
I've definitely hit, like, oh, everyone's, like, going to take their shot and they have their heads up and I just, and then. Right. The amount of times I've done that with, like, 42 and, like, really good alcohol that should not be poured out, but I'm just too fucked up, and I'm like, I don't even care if this is expensive alcohol. I'm gonna throw up if I put this in my body.
Exactly. And especially I DJ a lot. Like, if I drank every night, like, to the extent of being drunk, I would not look well. I wouldn't be able to do things.
You wouldn't even want to put your headphones on and listen to music. Like, oh, can someone turn the music down?
Like, this is too loud in my head. Yeah, I have to watch myself. Especially because I just have access to it all the time. It's, like, so easy to just get caught up, you know. I know other DJs do.
I feel like that's definitely like there's a handful of careers where like it's really easy to get caught up in like drugs and alcohol, and no one would even think that it's like a problem you have. It's just like, oh, it comes with the territory. Like, oh, like a DJ with like an alcohol addiction and like a coke problem. Like, oh, that makes sense. Like no one like even questions it.
I know.
So it's like, how do you even make sure you stay out of that stuff? Because I've been in situations where it's like you feel not cool, like turning shit like
For
down,
sure.
like especially if it's like, oh, like the clients that hired you that night keep sending you shots because they're like, you're doing such a good job, like we're sending you shots, and you're like, I don't want to be disrespectful and tell you stop, but like,
yeah, that kind of situation is tough because you want to be respectful, and then they just love you, and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I
politely decline?
Yeah.
I've just gotten really good, but it's never in like a client situation. I've definitely, whenever I'm in like client situations, I definitely am like, oh yeah, like shots, but like,
I'll do like a little sip,
a good amount.
Like, thank you, yeah.
Like the max is 3. If you're trying to put more than 3 on me, you're trying to get me fucked up, and at that point, I feel no problem with telling you to stop it.
Oh, for sure.
Fully stop it.
I can't. I'm like 2 large ones. I'm feeling it.
It also depends on how deeply you're pouring it.
Yeah,
those people that really top it off in that thick ass double shooter glass, you're disrespectful, and I'll only do 1 shot with you.
That's so bad.
That's so mean. Giant. The people that want to pour it in my mouth, you only get 1 shot as well.
Only
That's
one.
it. It's the respectful people that give me that little half shot, that little like a little bit more than half, like it's a respectful amount. Like the lime sits on the top, it doesn't sit in it.
Yeah,
it's important.
Exactly.
But yes, coming back onto topic of DJing. Of DJing not drunk.
Not drunk. I have DJed sober before many times. It definitely is a different vibe though.
I have to say, like, what is the difference that you would say between DJing drunk and sober? Because I feel like I would just be so stressed out if I was drunk and trying to DJ. I'd be like, oh shit, I definitely got too into that song. Like, I gotta switch it. I've listened to fucking Ponde Replay 4 times.
Oh my god. There have been times where I've been drunk and I'm like, I'm good at focusing while I'm drunk actually, because it's like, I'm just vibing, like,
literally,
and I have fun. But you know, there are moments where I'm like, okay, exit this song now. But everybody else is drunk too, so half the time I don't notice. But when I'm sober, it's like the sober moments. Like I can sometimes even appreciate the music even more. But then other times, like if I'm DJing like 12 to 2 sober, that's challenging because like, I need a little something because everyone's so wasted.
So fucked up.
And then I'm just like a square.
Literally, you're like...
I'm like, okay, cue, like, siren, like, scratch.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah.
And they're just like, yes! And you're like,
I'm like,
okay. Oh my God.
I've heard this song so many times, man.
What song are you like, everyone wants to hear it, but I hate playing it now?
I know I have a few.
You're like, I know it needs to be on this fucking mix.
Probably WAP. Oh my God. I used to love it.
You're like, not anymore. From the top, make it drop.
I'm like, WAP.
I've heard it too much.
Like, okay.
What is your go-to song when you're like, okay, I need to get this party like right now? Like
right now.
They are like, the people are ready to dance. I'm ready to give the people what they want. I've warmed them up a bit. It's time to drop the banger. Someone's gonna start a twerk battle. True, like it's happening.
If it's hip hop and it's like I'm trying to go into bottle service, I'll either do like anything Megan Thee Stallion,
literally,
Twerkulator, anything by Megan. Like people start getting
twerking hard. The knees get activated. The knees become strengthened from within.
Yeah, even like old school 50 Cent, I'll pop on like In the Club, stuff like that, and then I'll start going to like newer hip hop around 11:30 to 1:30, and then anything after that is just complete ratchet hour.
Hell yeah. And
then sometimes even Calabria song, Eats and Anna.
Yeah.
That song gets people going too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's so many, like, I feel like you have to have a good amount of like throwbacks versus like current songs.
Yeah.
Because if you just hit them with the currents, everyone's like, this is like the radio right now.
Literally.
This is TikTok. But if you just do throwbacks, they're like, where are my parents? They're supposed to be in here.
Exactly.
It needs like the balance. Like you need some Usher, but you also need some City Girls. It's very.
That's exactly how I DJ. That is the key formula. Oop, did it turn around?
What the fuck? Yo.
What happened? We're back. I don't know where we left off.
Probably around Twerker later. Somewhere around Meg the Stallion and Twerker later.
Somewhere there.
Well, that is something that you will only get to hear in the audio because the video cut out and now we're back. But
does that happen often?
That has happened once before. This is cut out. Just like the fucking trial and error of at-home studioing, essentially.
I'm only asking because I tend to have weird shit with technology happen to me a lot. Like, things will like, that's never happened before. We've never seen that. And it's always with me. And I'm like, that's why I ask. Because I'm like, I'm not even surprised.
What's your sign for Mercury?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm Capricorn.
Like, that's your sun sign.
I don't know what my
like, do you have a co-star?
I do. I did. I don't remember.
Oh, my God. You need to figure out what your Mercury is because that's the planet.
Is that a reason?
That's
that
like,
could be?
Yeah. That's why when, like, Mercury's in retrograde, all communication is, like, fucked up and slow.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out, like, what's happening with you in communication because that's devices and shit like that. Or you could just have a lot of energy around you. Frequencies.
It's too high. I don't know.
Literally, my frequency is too high. I just disrupt all the technology in the room. I'm just too freaking static.
It's not good as a DJ. Thankfully, I haven't had too many bad times. Like, you know, when the shit turns off.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what the fuck is going on?
You start to realize, like, who you're dancing with.
Yeah.
And it's not good. And you need to go home.
Yeah. That's what I try to avoid that situation at all costs. I've gotten quite good with figuring out the technology of computers and machines. Because that shit's the worst for a DJ. So it's so awkward.
It's so much to figure out. That's like one of the scariest things to me about like DJing is you control the vibe. So if your shit fucks up, you have officially fucked up the vibe.
I know.
And
everyone stares at you.
I've like had my phone on the aux cord and definitely fucked up the vibe with like a song that like I love. Mm-hmm. And the people did not love it.
Yeah.
There was literally this one time, I will never forget this, and it was a hilarious moment where I was like, I don't think I could DJ because my feelings would get hurt. Because I'm DJing in the car, like putting stuff on like a playlist and driving, and after this one song, my friend was like, oh my God, I thought that fucking song would never end. That shit was horrible. No. I was like, I love that song. Mind you, like, I was singing the song while it was on. Like, I was full on in my jam out. And I was like, either you're a fucking hater or this song is bad. But, like, right as I thought that, my other friends, like, joined in and were like, that was horrible. I was like, oh, shit. Damn, Lady Gaga, you really fucked them up that day. They were not feeling the vibe. Gaga. It was Lady Gaga, Perfect Illusion. And, like, that's a very intense song. Like, I understand why they didn't like it, but, like, that was a very strong stance to take in my car while I'm driving and singing.
Not in Tori's car.
Not in my car, which now it's pink and, like, cute and a whole different vibe. But at that point, it actually wasn't even my car. It was my parents' car, but I was the only one with a car because no one has a car in New York.
Nobody has a car in New York.
Nobody has a car in New York. It is not like, I moved to LA. And I had a shitty ass car, and I didn't even know that like that was a problem because they're not a status symbol in New York. No. Literally, I'm like,
I live in New York City too. I had not driven for 5 years before I moved here, and I felt like I had to relearn driving, and I was terrified.
I would drive like once every 6 to 7 months, maybe, and that was because my parents had a car.
Yeah.
But if your parents didn't have a car, you were definitely not driving. What are you driving? Your friends don't have cars. Like,
to have a car in New York City.
In New York, it's a big deal if you have a car. Like, we don't even get into what type of car. Like, you're like, oh my God, I'm dating a guy and he has a car. Like, that's a big fucking deal, period.
For sure.
You're like, he makes car payments. Like, he has somewhere to park it, or like he has a garage, or like he deals with alternate street side parking. Like, he's grown up.
Oh, yeah. That's like a huge thing.
to just have a fucking car.
Because it's like, the subway's so easy.
Then I get to LA and they're like, it's just a Kia? You just have a Kia? I'm like, it's 2019.
Isn't that good?
I'm like, it has CarPlay. Isn't that cool? Like,
oh my god.
Like, you don't have a sunroof. You don't plug it in. It's not. Right? It doesn't plug into the wall. It's not a Tesla. I'm like, oh, baby steps. My god. I just got my first car.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter that I'm 27.
No.
I didn't even have a car until I was 24. Period. At all.
Yeah, it's not the same out here.
But you were the same. Like, literally, Casey would pull up and she's like, don't look at my car. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't look at my car. It was so bad. She just pulled up today. She's like, kind of weird question, but like, do you want to come see my car? Because you remember my old car. I was like, yes!
Tori's seen me.
The glow up.
Oh my god. My car is so different now. It's so cool. It's a Jeep Patriot. I love it. I'm obsessed. It's all black. But my old one was a 98 Toyota Corolla. And I had to roll up the windows.
Literally.
It was like, I don't know who the fuck was in it before me, but like it looked like a tiger attacked the ceiling. There was like scratch marks everywhere. It was the weirdest thing.
Someone probably had a cat.
I was like, what? What
happened in this car? Like, imagine someone pulls up and they're like, ma'am, this car was involved in a murder.
I was actually like worried. I was like,
when did you become in possession of this vehicle?
Right? I'm like, what the fuck?
Who did you purchase this vehicle from? I feel like if it was something bad, they would have changed that.
Oh, for sure. It was just like, so bizarre to me.
That's evidence.
It was so weird. But she eventually broke down.
I was about to say, did she tap out on you or did you upgrade?
I had given the car to my brother. And then it was on its last leg already, and
I did the same thing. I was like, Riley, you can keep it. Right. Mind you, the day that I went to get a car, I was not intending to go get a car. Like, I didn't wake up. I was like, I'm getting a car today. Like, there was no planning. I got in my car, and I had to drive downtown for a shoot. And literally, my boyfriend and I got in the car. I'm backing up. I'm like, oh, put the AC on. It's like May. It's hot as fucking balls in the valley. Like 90-something degrees. Hot as hell. My AC is broken in the car.
No.
We have to go downtown from here, the valley.
Oh, my God.
It's like an hour with no AC. And like straight on the highway, so there's the sun beaming.
Yeah.
Just straight, no tree coverage. I was like, I need to cancel my shoot. I need to go get a car. I cannot. And this is like the AC has broken and broken and broken and broken and broken. And there's like 80 other things wrong with this car. And we had gotten to the point where it's like, we're not going to keep putting money into this car because like it just keeps getting worse and worse. It was a 09 Honda Civic Hybrid. Like she was dope as shit. She got us through some hard times, but she was done. She had gone to... My grandma even gave the car to us because it had too many miles to sell. And then we drive it back and forth from Palm Springs like fucking a shit ton of times. Like,
we went through it.
Why would we do that? There was even this time this brand gave us money to rent a car to drive to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
And we were like, we could not do that and just drive our car. And then we were like, no, we'll rent a car. Like, we'll do it. We'll just, like, be bougie and rent the car, rent a really nice car. We get to the fucking place to rent the car.
Yeah.
I don't think I was even 25 yet because no one was 25. We couldn't rent the car.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So we were like, oh, we have to drive our car.
So you put her through it.
We put her through it.
Eventually, they just can't do it no more.
But I will say, like, there are certain brands of cars that will last longer than other brands of cars.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Toyotas, like, are unbreakable.
Toyota, Honda, like, I've seen so many, like, you can always tell, like, when you see a shit ton of old versions of those cars still, like, running and on the road.
I still see my car, 98 Corolla, on the road. In better shape than mine was in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just certain fucking cars. I've never seen, like, a really old Dodge.
No.
I feel like American cars don't always weather the best. I don't know why that is. But I've noticed that.
Yeah, I don't think... It's like I love my current car, but it's definitely not a Toyota.
You're like, she doesn't ride the same.
I'm gonna like, but it's an SUV, so that's nice. Mm-hmm. I like have room now.
That's more gas though.
It is more gas. It's not too bad, but
that's what everyone says about Jeeps is like, be careful with Jeeps because they have so much gas mileage.
I know. At least it's not a Jeep Wrangler, because the Wranglers are like.
Oh my God! I was just in Hawaii and I rented a Jeep. I think it was a Gladiator and it was a half hybrid. And it was so fucking dope. We had to rent it for a week and we like drove a shit ton with it and we didn't even have to refill the gas tank until we were about to give it back.
My next car, I want a Jeep hybrid.
Literally.
Like that is an ultimate dream.
Why would you want any car other than a hybrid? You save money. That's why I want a Tesla, like low-key. That's why like I make fun of Teslas because I'm actually salty I don't have one. That's like one of my things. I'm like, yeah, fuck your plug-in car because I don't have it.
I know, right?
Because I really, really want one because I don't want to ever spend money on gas.
I don't either, especially now. The gas prices are insane in LA. And they are like not going down at all.
No.
For a year now.
No, I don't think they have any plans on having them go down.
They're forcing us.
No gas will go down and you got to get a shot. So,
yep.
That's what we're living in right now. Welcome to, I can't even say post-COVID because we're still technically in it, obviously.
I know.
The amount of things that I've done since COVID started. I feel like I watched you like grow as a DJ on live.
You
during
did.
COVID.
You literally did.
Literally, I'd be like, started. Oh, Casey's DJing. What else am I doing on my fucking Friday night? I can't go to the club. Like, I'm going to turn on Casey.
Well, because I had only done a handful of jobs before COVID hit, and it was moving fast. I think my first job was, like, in the end of October 2019, and then I was, like, starting to work monthly, and then, yeah, I was, like, starting to get a flow, and then COVID happened, and I was like, oh, my God, what the fuck?
Literally.
And I was like, I'm not going to stop. And everybody was DJing on live, so I was, like, doing that. And then, yeah, now we're here.
I feel like COVID was, like, literally the most scary time financially for everyone.
It was so scary.
In the entire world, especially if you were in the creative field, because if you're freelance, there was no safety net at fucking all.
No.
Especially if you, like, had certain places where you, like, were saying you were making money and they were like different places, then you didn't qualify for unemployment. Like, I had certain situations that's I didn't qualify for unemployment because I had an influencer contract that was having me make a certain amount per month.
Oh my God.
Which is what it said on my shit, and I could technically still make it, like I wasn't fired or anything, but I couldn't make it because the creatives weren't available because it was COVID, so I couldn't make the money.
They didn't even have when COVID first started, the 1099 option for unemployment, and that was terrible because like it's all we do.
Literally, everything, even fucking catering.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's so fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
So dumb compared to like other countries.
I know.
So, I'm probably gonna get fucking banned from everything if I really go into how I feel about that situation.
I know.
I'm like trying not to, but like saying it. But
yeah, no.
There's so much going on that's so bad.
So much.
Okay, back onto happier topics.
We made it through.
How does your family feel about you DJing?
They're so supportive. My mom is the best. Like, she has been with me on this crazy journey since I was just modeling in high school. Because I've always been on the road less traveled. Like, I didn't go to college. And it's been tough. Especially, like, moving to New York City. Because I grew up on Long Island. Mm-hmm. But then I moved to the city around 17. Yeah, and I was forced to be an adult, and I wasn't thinking like that at the time. I was just like, I'm just going to model. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to model, and I'm not going to have anyone tell me what to do because I'm living by myself, and I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it was not that glamorous.
No.
Like, I was so broke.
I was about to say, were you paying all your bills and everything?
I was, yeah. I lived in a model apartment for the first year, and then that was a lot.
Stressful within itself.
Yeah, and then I just figuring out how to pay bills and what even that felt like.
What even bills are.
I just was so young and fresh out of high school, and then thrown into the modeling world and just dealing with all these grown adults.
Literally.
And yeah, it was crazy. I actually had to move home for 6 months after living in the city for a year to take care of my mental health, because I felt like
It's not surprising.
It was great at first, and then it all took a toll on me, and I didn't feel like myself. Felt like I was losing myself, and I literally like quit modeling and moved back to Long Island for 6 months and worked at California Pizza Kitchen. So random. I thought my whole life was over. It's so funny. like
I'm just gonna go kill myself and work at California Pizza Kitchen.
I dyed my hair brunette. I was going through it.
You went through a whole life crisis.
I did at 19.
Oh my God.
I dyed my hair dark, and I just was like, I want to change. It was such a classic, like one of those classic moments where you go into the salon and you're like, I want to be dark hair now. Like,
yeah.
I was like this blonde. And then my modeling
take it dark.
agency was like, what the fuck did
You're like,
do?
well, fuck you. I don't want to be with you anyway.
Yeah. And then I lost my modeling agency, and I moved home, and I was back to square one. But it all ended up being worth it, because like I felt like I like remembered who the fuck I was. Because I literally was like, if I didn't do that, I probably would have gone down a much different path.
Were you living in an agency model apartment or a promoter model apartment?
Promoter.
Oh, Lord Jesus. So how many nights a week did you have to go out? 3 or 4?
Like 3 to 4, depending on the week. At least 3.
Oh, my God. What were your regulars? What clubs did you have to go to?
Up and down. When it was up and down.
Oh, my God. When it was Derby or when it was up and down?
Yeah. Where else?
Was Marquee one?
Marquee, Tao, Lavo. What's it called?
Yeah, there's 2 Lavos, I think. There's one, or is there? There's one of them that there's 2, and one's like all the way uptown.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think that's Lavo. I think there's
Midtown
2.
One.
There's 2 Lavos, I believe. Someone's probably going to correct me if there's not, but I think there's 2 Lavos, and I think there's one that's uptown and one that's like further downtown.
Yeah, I don't remember the downtown
But
one.
oof, that's fucking...
Yeah, it was really bad for me.
That's things that like people like imagine for a year straight, 4 days a week, going to the club, and it's not like LA where the club closes at 2.
No.
You're there like, and God forbid they have dinner too.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're leaving the house at 9. You're not getting home till like 4 or 5.
Literally.
And then you have castings
and then
tomorrow.
I had castings. I was still working. I actually somehow managed to book work, you know.
Oh my God.
And like I would show up and just be like so
exhausted,
tired, and like they want you to look perfect. And yeah, it just was too much for me. Like, so I moved. It was good that I moved home, and then I came back and I felt like, okay, I know how this all works now.
Literally.
I'm not giving up. And then, you know, I started to book I had a different agency, got with a new agency, started to book some new work. But then I had visited LA, and I was like, oh my God, LA is so
I love it.
Cool. It's so warm and tropical.
It's not warm today.
It's not warm today. It's cold out.
But normally
it's warm. But I just, like, I had visited, and then I went back home, and I told my best friend, I'm like, I need to move to LA. And it took me, I think 2 or 3 years later.
That's literally the same thing I did.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I came to LA when I was 13 as a writer because I had won a competition and I won $1,000, and this writer dude was like, if you can make your way out to LA, I'll write with you, and I sell songs, so like I'll sell the songs.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm taking my $1,000, I'm taking me and my dad to LA. Definitely cost more than $1,000, but my parents appreciated the contribution. So I get here and I was like, oh my God. Like I had already seen like all the Disney shit, like all the Nickelodeon shit. Like I was always into acting and singing and all that stuff as a kid. So I knew that like the place where it all happened was LA. So when I came here and I realized it really does all happen here, I was like, oh shit. Like, I need to live here. So imagine your 13-year-old kid being like, we're moving to LA. Like, no, we're not, clearly. Like, I'm one of 3 siblings. Like, my parents are fully established in New York. We own a house. Like, they're not moving to LA. So I'm like, fuck, that means I have to wait till I'm an adult. Man. So I'm going to look at colleges in LA. This is what I decide when I'm 13. Mm-hmm. By the time I'm looking at colleges, I'm in a band with my brother and sister. So I cannot go to LA without quitting my band. So now I have to figure out a different way to get myself to LA. So we wound up signing with a manager.
Okay.
And then we came out here for a month. But this was after, I swear, like, the moment I manifested it, I wrote this post on Instagram, actually. I came out because I was working at Catch at the time. They were about to open Catch LA. Mm-hmm. And I came out with, like, some other colleagues just to, like, check it out and, like, see the situation.
Yeah.
So while I'm out here, we went to the beach. We were in Malibu, and I'm standing in the ocean. I was like, can you take a picture of me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I need a picture because, like, I swear to God, like, I'm going to live on this ocean. Like, I'm going to, like, be able to come to the Pacific Ocean anytime I want because I'm going to live in fucking California. Like, I don't know. I've felt like this, like, my whole life.
Yeah.
I wrote a post on Instagram, like, I'm not coming back, blah, 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 all this shit. Not even 2-3 months later, we met a manager that was like, come out for a month and, like, see how it is. Mm-hmm. Out there here for a month. At the end of the month, we were like, okay, it's about to be the holidays. Like, we'll come back in the new year. We'll come out for 3 months next time and just, like, see what, like, happens.
Yeah.
4 years later. Mind you, I did not quit work. I did not do, like, anything you're supposed to do when you move.
Oh my
I had,
gosh,
like,
yeah.
I'm going away for a little bit party, but not, like, I'm moving to California from New York, different time zone party.
Yeah. Dang.
What did you do when you left?
I was saving for, like, a year when I really fully decided I was going to go. I know. I was trying to be smart about it. And I was just working. And then I finally was like, oh, my God, I'm moving June. I moved in June. And, like, I found this apartment in WeHo on Craigslist.
Girl. What?
Yeah.
You found an apartment on Craigslist?
I know. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
And you
but
are still alive?
My mom was involved.
Oh, okay.
She was involved in everything. I'm still alive. It was. I moved shortly after to the Valley, and off of Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I was finding apartments there then.
That's so crazy. I literally, like, how'd I get my first place? My first place, my parents were just driving around Hollywood, mm-hmm. and they were, like, calling the numbers of the, like, we have, like, this place for rent. Like, we have 2 bedrooms. We have 3 bedrooms. Like, call this number. And they literally just calling numbers. And if someone would call them back, they would go look at the spot. And, like, the third place they saw, they were like, we need this place for you guys.
There you go.
And then my sister, Kira, found this one on Truvia or something, whatever it is.
I think it's called Truvia.
Something like that. And it was, like, the second day it had been posted.
Oh, my gosh.
And even by the time, like, we saw it 2 days later, and there had already been, like, 4 or 5 people by to see it. And we were like, oh, shit. We literally got it, like, 2 days later. We were like, we have to.
Dang.
We need this place. And thank God we did, because there were 4 of us living in a 2-bedroom in Hollywood. And literally a month after getting the 4-bedroom house with a backyard that I have now, we got 2 dogs. And then 2 months later, COVID hit. So I got to spend COVID locked in my, like, beautiful backyard house with a pool instead of with, like, a fucking balcony.
God you guys
could you imagine?
Oh my God, because I saw your old apartment. So I remember seeing your backyard, like, your stories, and I'm like,
literally,
that's so good that she has outdoors, because going outdoors in first of COVID was, like,
not a thing
at
all. Going to a pool, the fact that I, like, had a pool, I remember we got to the point where we were like, okay, like, it's hot as fuck outside, like, we can have friends over to the backyard.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't even have them in our house. Like, you have to pee, like, you're shit out of luck. Like, drive somewhere, go home. Like, you're not peeing in my house.
Yeah.
You cannot come in the house.
Social distance.
Literally social distance. There's so many people probably peed in my pool because of that rule during that moment.
Oh,
like,
God.
come to think about it, like, we're getting drunk in the backyard. But I also had a lot of friends, like, there was no traffic at that time, so even going to Hollywood is like 20 minutes, so you wouldn't even...
It would be all right.
You'd pee before you came here, and, like, when you got...
You'd survive. You'd
make it.
Without traffic, LA, it's so easy to get around.
So easy.
It's like nothing's actually that far at all.
No.
It's insane that it takes,
if you want to know how
hours.
close things are, you can look, like, at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Look at 2 a.m. and you'll see how easy it would be to do your day if you weren't, like, budgeting for the traffic. Mm-hmm. It's actually absolute insanity. Let me check our timing.
Oh, this is really fun. I was telling Tori, this is my first podcast, so.
I love it. I love taking a podcast virginity. It's fun as fuck. I feel like people always think it's going to be more difficult than it is. And I'm like, we're literally just like chilling, having a conversation.
Talking into a microphone.
Like it might be weird or like stressful if like you have to like do something that requires more than just being yourself.
True.
Like if I had to like remember facts and like shit and like
I know
educate people for real.
Sometimes I see celebrities in the interviews they do. I'm like, God, I feel like I would have to prepare for that.
100%.
Or be trained on what I even would say.
Or to like, respond to that.
Yeah, like the questions they ask, I'd be like, if I didn't know, I might not know what to say.
Well, no, I feel like when you get to a certain point, you start getting coached on like how to be interviewed. Because there's like certain ways, like I've even been like lightly coached on like how to be interviewed. And there's like always answer a question like this way, like if this is the topic that like is the objective that you're trying to get to, like make sure that however you answer their question always brings it back to that, even if it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like someone will be like, oh, what do you think about like the blankets that I have on my couch? And you're like, oh my God, those blankets are amazing. I was just talking about blankets like that on my podcast. And it's like, no one's talking about your fucking podcast, bitch. We're talking about blankets. But it's like, it naturally flowed in like that. True. Now I'm talking about the fucking Maizu blankets that I was talking about on my podcast. And then, oh, you have a podcast? Oh my God. So nice of you to ask.
I see.
How'd you know? But it's like,
yeah,
light. A sprinkle of it.
A little sprinkle.
What do you think is like the biggest way that you're able to advertise for you being a DJ? Like how would you give someone the advice to like get themselves out there?
I mean, social media is literally how I get booked half the time.
Really?
Just like by the image you have, and then you need a press kit. You need to make a press kit to like send to clients. And SoundCloud, make a SoundCloud, make some mixes, show them what you got. And yeah, that's basically, SoundCloud, good social media, press kit, and confidence.
Do you have like an agency for DJing or a manager or something?
I don't. I just got a manager, thankfully, because I needed a little bit of help with the business end of things. Mm-hmm. But everything I've done, I've just been self, like me. There was a point where I would like go out a lot and like tell them I was a DJ. I have a business card. Mm-hmm. Give them my business card. And be like, hey, I'm a DJ. So I did a lot of that. Now it's thankfully I've just gotten into such a flow of like people know I DJ and they just naturally like hit me up like, oh, I know a DJ, Casey.
Literally.
So now I feel like
you get suggested, they go to your Instagram and it's like, oh, she really is a DJ.
Yeah. So now it's kind of just like word of mouth, and I have some residencies, and yeah, it's a good flow now.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah. Feels good.
What would you say your biggest advice to someone that wants to get into DJing would be?
There's so many things. I'm
like, run them down.
Definitely, I mean, just start small. Like, you don't need a $10,000 equipment to start DJing. Like, I started on those like $200, I think, at Guitar Center. So you can just start small. Watch a few. You can do exactly what I did. Watch a few YouTube videos. There's some cool schools. If you want to learn on vinyl, the one in Glendale, Beat Junkies, is cool. There's also a lot of one-on-one teachers. And just practice a lot, and song selection is number one. Literally. But yeah, and believe in yourself, because it's it's a different path for sure to take. Good at that. Good at taking paths less traveled. So.
No, it's definitely nightlife is always a path less traveled.
Yeah,
and like definitely not for the faint of heart. Like your days get flipped. Your days and night are reversed.
I'm like a vampire at this point.
Don't speak to me before 5 p.m.
It's crazy. Like noon is in nightlife world is like early.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'll get to you first thing in the morning at noon. Versus me, I'm like, oh, my boyfriend has me at the gym at 10 a.m.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I'm leaving the gym by noon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Stressful.
I try not to get up at noon every day, but when I'm DJing till 2 a.m., like those nights,
have to.
Like, there's no way.
You're not getting home and to sleep till like 4.
Yeah. It's impossible.
Noon is 8 hours. That's
I know.
exactly what you should be waking up at noon. Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But let the people know where to find you.
You can find me on Instagram at I am Casey Claire. On Facebook, it's just Casey Claire. I have a website, caseyclaire.com. On Spotify, Casey Claire. I write too. I write songs. I got 3 songs out. More songs coming. I'm really excited about all that.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So all that is under Casey Claire. Dun, 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 dun. And I am Tori 212 Green on all social media platforms. Tea with Tori podcast on Instagram. If you are listening, give me 5 stars and a download. If you are watching, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back next Wednesday. See you guys.
Peace.